according to God. The white man is the devil.
See, I've been in here for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? And I see niggas, they like to talk a lot. They like to claim leadership. They like to claim this and that. You know what I'm saying? They like to be above what they really is and have authority. But they don't really need that authority. They don't really know what to do with that leadership. You understand? You hold hands with this white man. Need to stop and ask you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. See, everybody ain't with all that peace talk. Everybody ain't with all that. Let bygone be. Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to profit. It's about to get serious. When they hit us with dope and kill us with crack, where the fuck with your leaders? I'm curious. He cashed out on your blood, traded you in and bought a new biz. Ask you the prophets, I tell you the scheme. If you don't wake up, you gon' die in your dreams. I tell you once, won't tell you no more. I swear these crackers try to kill us slow. Just spoke to a nigga and fed it up for parole. Because of the COVID, it feel like the host in this world that don't go together. Know it's gold in the ghetto. I'm in the city blazing with my niggas. Just told the devil the score never settled. Yeah, see the prophets. I'm tired of these niggas keep talking about, you know, you respect my religion, I respect your religion. Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you the prophets. You know, like we all come together. Cause you know, they say God so loved the world. God so loved the world and know boy, your ass need to stop and ask you the prophets. Don't give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Hey, gentlemen, y'all, we don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up. You know what I'm saying? Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to promise. Step, I'm silent for show. To the fake niggas, stay silent, I got it, let's go. I ain't taking no losses, ain't no talking when we got the flow. Ain't no peace, just play with your own. I'ma be loyal to the right arm. Tell him we can't keep it slate. And I can never let bygone be bygone. Got your baby mother on high, got your baby pass through the fire. Ask you the prophets, that baby so belong to the Lord. How dare you abort it? Devil will failure, bitch, I can afford it. I prepare slaughter, you bring me my water. Push your leaders weak, let them lies slip through their teeth. Their ass need to stop and ask you the prophets.
That's just the reality, Christians. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. I know your pastor lied to you every Sunday for 30 years, but that's what the church is for, lying. That's why they exist, to lie the money out of your pockets.
Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga.
All right. Shalom, Israel. You live with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Priest and Captain Soccer will hold down a class live from Memphis, Tennessee. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we have classes here in Memphis from 6 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Since 1969, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge has been teaching so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians the truth according to the Bible. What is the truth? The truth is that so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians descend from the greatest people that have ever walked the face of the earth. The Bible identifies us as the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. In the year 2025, there's nothing more important than for God's chosen people to learn the truth of who we are, where we come from, and what our purpose is on the earth. What we really do with these classes is give brothers and sisters an opportunity to go into this book called the Bible to gain the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that is placed inside of this book, so that we can come back to being the people that He called us to be and reclaim our place on the earth as kings, priests, princesses, and daughters of Zion. That being said, I'd like to start the class off with questions. If any brothers and sisters in the room have questions, raise your hand. If there's any questions online, all you have to do is type them in. And if there are no questions, we're going to tonight's topic, which is for brotherhood's sake, all right? For brotherhood's sake is the topic of tonight's class. So give y'all a second to come with any questions. If there are no questions, we'll get into the first scripture, all right? All right. All right. All right, so with that being said, I don't see any questions online or any questions in the room. First scripture we're going to go into is John chapter 15. We're going to start at verse 12, all right? John chapter 15, verse 12. The point of this lesson today is to understand that when it comes to being in the truth and when it comes to serving the Lord, oftentimes there are things that we all must do and ways that we all must change that aren't necessarily for our sake. For a lot of us, coming into the truth was not something that we chose for ourselves. A lot of us didn't wake up one day and say, you know what, I'm going to serve God and obey God, and I'm going to learn how to learn the Bible and be who God called me to be. For a lot of us, being in the truth was um, a happenstance, right? It's something that happened to us. Things occurred in our lives. We found ourselves traveling down a path that was going to lead to our destruction, lead to us living a life that wasn't one that the Lord saw fit. And He intervened and caused it so that we found our way to come into the truth, found our way to serve Him. A lot of brothers and sisters that end up in the truth didn't, get on the internet and search, what is an Israelite, or what does it mean to serve God? A lot of us weren't on a path where we were actively trying to be a better version of ourselves. Some of us stumbled into the truth. Some of us fell upon the truth. Some of us, the way we were introduced to the truth fell out of the sky, right? For those brothers and sisters who the Lord chose you for the truth, the Lord found a way for you to find the truth. You may come in here not understanding what it is that the Lord wants from you. You come into class and you hear about keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. You hear about, not celebrating the oppressor's holidays. You hear about not eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, and not smoking weed. And those things seem good. They sound decent. And because it's in the Bible and God said it, you learn how to do it. You learn how to, be who God called you to be. But there's some things that you must change about yourself that aren't necessarily written in the laws. There's things that you must, realities about who you are that you must face that don't necessarily make you a sinner or make you an evil person. But they are things that absolutely can offend brothers and sisters who are also trying to serve the Lord. So there's things about the way that you are, the way that you talk, the way that you act that you must change, not for your sake, but for the sake of your brother, the sake of your sister. And all throughout these scriptures, there are examples of brothers and sisters who made changes necessary, not on account of themselves or who they were, but on account of how it affected someone else. And that's what we're going to go into tonight, all right? So the first scripture we're going to get is John chapter 15. We're going to start at verse 12, all right? John chapter 15, verse 12. And for every brother and sister, the key to unlocking the strength within yourself to be righteous comes from being willing to give up or to lose certain things that you may have found were important to you, or you may have clung to because it shaped who you were as a person or shaped who you were in your mind as an individual. Certain things that in order for you to be the best brother or the best sister that you can be, in order to be the best son to our king or daughter to our king Yahushua, you have to make changes. You have to make adjustments. You have to analyze yourself and say, okay, I understand this thing about myself, and it may not be, you know, in the world we often take on the mentality that if somebody can't handle me or can't deal with me, then that's their fault. That's their problem. They just shouldn't be around me, or they just shouldn't deal with me. In the truth, you have to have the opposite mindset. I remember being young in the truth and thinking, some people just not gonna like me. I'm just not gonna be their cup of tea, and that's cool. I'm all right with that. As I've grown in the truth, I've come to realize that there shouldn't be anything about me that makes somebody not want to like me or make somebody not want to be around me. If somebody doesn't like me or doesn't want to be around me, I have to make sure that I am not the cause of it, that I am not the reason. It's not good enough to say, well, if they don't like me, that's on them. They ain't got to deal with me. No, that's not how it's supposed to be. You should examine yourself and say, well, damn, I wonder what is it that make this person not like me or not want to be around me? What is it that make people feel like I'm not their cup of tea? And once you examine yourself and you recognize some behaviors or some things about yourself that people may not like, you say, you know what? I'm going to change that up, man. I'm going to make sure that I'm doing everything that I can so that brothers and sisters, understand me or aren't offended by me. And then if you do make those changes and people still are offended or still feel some kind of way, well, now in brotherhood and sisterhood, you can go to them and say, hey, what's the issue? What's going on? It seems like every time I come around, you roll out, or, I just feel offended because it seems like you don't want to be cool with me or be my friend, or, we supposed to be brothers. This is not the place where we get to not like each other. This is not the place where we get to just not be each other's cup of tea. This is the place where we got to understand that we are all we have. And unless we stand on that and acknowledge that and cling to one another, when the time comes for us to truly need each other, we won't be able to stand because of the division that exists. Everybody understand? John chapter 15, starting at verse 12. He says this is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you. Everybody understands? This was Christ's commandment. Christ's commandment was that we love one another as he loved us. What does that mean? How did Christ love us, love his disciples? Love is not a feeling or an emotion. Love is not a thought. Love is action. Love is what you do. Love is a verb in every context that's used in the Bible. Everybody understands? Christ loved us in that he taught us the right ways that we should move and how we should live. He corrected us when we were wrong, showed us the error of our ways, and then died a righteous man so that we would have an opportunity to be inspired to live like he did. You understand? And his commandment is that we all love each other the same way. We can't love one another the way Christ loved us if we don't like each other, if we can't tolerate each other, if we can't stand one another. If there's things about a brother or sister that you don't like, you got to go talk to them about it. You got to tell them the thing that they do or the thing that they say or the behavior that they exhibit that makes you feel like you don't want to be around them or makes you feel like they're not your cup of tea. And when someone comes to you about your behavior or the way you talk or the way you act, then you got to be ready to say, Salaki, I didn't understand. I didn't know that thing that I was doing was upsetting you. I'm sorry. I didn't know that I was offending you by that. You know what? I'm sorry. I'm gonna be better. I'm gonna analyze myself. I'm gonna make some changes so that we can be brothers and sisters. That's loving one another the way that Christ loved us. It's accepting correction, taking correction, correcting each other, giving each other opportunity to change and to be better. Not just being mad and being bitter or being upset because you don't like someone the way that they are. Keep reading verse 13. Greater love have no man than this. This is the greatest love you can have. That a man lay down his life for his friends. Everybody understands? There is no greater love than you lay down your life for your friend. And what does it mean to lay down your life? What does laying down your life for someone look like? The immediate idea we all get is being willing to die for someone. Being willing to lose your life so someone else can have the opportunity to live. But what if we looked a little bit deeper than that? What if we looked a little bit further than just being willing to die for someone? What other ways can you lay down your life for your friend? What if you're someone that like to joke a lot? You like to, we come from the world. You understand? We used to cutting up on each other and making jokes and, making light of each other and making fun of different little things. What if in order to have a friend or to be a friend or to show love, you had to learn to no longer joke with brothers and sisters about the way they look or the way they talk or the way they act? What if in order to lay down your, what if in order to, show love, you had to learn to not be someone that makes a joke at the expense of someone else? Instead of being someone that always cracked jokes, you learn to just be someone that was quiet and just learn to not say nothing, or learn to talk and socialize in a way where you don't have to be funny all the time, or don't everything doesn't have to be a joke. Would you lay down your life for a friend? What if you are a brother who, you're always so serious, man? Life is serious, and there's no reason to be laughing and joking all the time. You go out here, I live in Memphis, Tennessee. It's dangerous out here, man. Young cats robbing and stealing, and everybody carrying guns. And you go out here and you move through the world, and everybody's always on go mode. You always got to be ready for things to go down. You gotta, you always. I'm so serious all the time, and always looking at the dangers. When brothers come around and they want to have a good time, they want to have fun. I'm always, man. Listen, y'all gotta stop joking, man. Pay attention. You gotta stay on Shamar. Look at what's going on around you. But every time I do that, I behave that way. It stops brothers from being able to have fun. Can't nobody have fun and enjoy themselves because I'm always so on point and alert about everything. I want everybody else to have to be on point and be alert. Well, what if in order to be able now, I'm so alert and aware of everything that nobody wants to go out with me because they can't have no fun. Man, we can't have no fun with this brother around because all he want to do is look for danger. He want to stop all the fun because of all of the fear, not the fear, but all of the awareness he got of all of the danger that's lurking. Well, what if in order to be able to enjoy my brothers and to have fun, I had to learn to, allow them to be able to relax. Let me be the one that's always on watch. Let me be the one that's, paying attention. I don't have to alert everybody all the time so that they can have fun. In order to be able to gain my brothers, I got to learn to not be, so overbearing in my protection and so over watchful and looking for the threats. I got to learn to just relax a little bit so everybody can enjoy themselves. Would you be willing to lay down your seriousness in order for other brothers and sisters to be able to have fun? On the flip side, I'm a brother that I like to have fun, like to go out and socialize and talk to people, talk to women, have a good time. The brothers say, man, listen, Salaki, saying, sir, I know you like to have a good time, man, and you socialize, but sometimes, we be going to places and a lot of people don't be friendly, man. They be looking at us like we funny. And this kind of place you can't just, you be so friendly and open with everybody, it kind of make you a target. Brother come to you and tell you that you're gonna be offended because he say that you always having a good time and having fun, you need to tighten up a little bit, or you're gonna examine yourself and say, you know what, maybe I do need to be a little bit more serious. Maybe I do need to not be so friendly all the time. Maybe I'm friendly all the time because I've been drinking, and drinking make me extra friendly, make me extra talkative. Well, you know what? So I don't offend my brothers. Let me just chill out and not drink this weekend. Let me go out with them. Let me be the one that's on Shamar. Let me be the brother that's kind of quiet and in the background for the sake of my brothers. Laying down your life for your friend doesn't always mean being willing to die. Sometimes it's being willing to make the changes necessary to gain your brother or gain your sister. Everybody understands? John chapter 15, verse 13 again. Greater love have no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. Ye are my friends if ye do whatsoever I command you. Everybody understands? Christ said, you are my friends if you do whatever I command you. What did Christ command us to do? Christ commanded us to love one another. You understand? To lay down our life for a friend. And if we are Christ's friends, then guess what we would do? We would make the necessary changes in order for a brother or a sister to be our friend. Everybody understands? The truth is not a place where you just find the people who would like you. You like to talk shit, got a filthy mouth, cuss all the time, call sisters bitches and hoes and joke like that. You don't want to go around the sisters who don't curse and have a filthy mouth. You just want to find the other loudmouth cursing bitches that like to joke and laugh that way so you can be friends with them. Don't do that in here. Don't go searching for your kind of people when you come into the truth. You come into the truth and change yourself to fit in with all people. You understand? You a sister, you single, you coming to the truth. You don't want to be around those married bitches. All those married bitches be trying to make sure that nobody coming for their husband. Married women want to make sure that ain't no single woman trying to push up on their outer ones. So you don't go and be friends with all the married women. You go find a bunch of single sisters to gather yourself with. So y'all could be, I don't know what you think you're gonna be together, all the single sisters. Don't do that, man. Come in here and befriend everybody. Come in here and be kind and be nice to everybody. Come in here and salute everybody. And you feel shade or you feel someone not receiving you well, then you go to them and say, Salakia, sis, if I could, I saw you the other day and I greeted you, said shalom, and I didn't get a shalom back. I just wanted to make sure everything was okay between us. You understand? And it could be, it arises more often with sisters. And I can understand for sisters how there can be an uncomfortability sometimes. But if you are a sister that wants to be received as a friend, then you have to learn to be able to fight through the uncomfortability that comes from those slight and small, petty things that can arise. The best way for you to be as a woman, whether you're single, whether you're married, whether you've been in the truth forever, or you're just coming in the truth, is to learn how to navigate fighting through the pettiness. Right? If you let something small that bothers you go unaddressed or go ignored, it's going to snowball and turn into something bigger. If there are little things that you know that aren't that you feel like make people not like you or make people be standoffish or not cling to you, if you don't address it, then it'll come a big thing that make people not like you or not want to be around you. You have to learn to deal with situations and circumstances when they present themselves as a very small, minor inconvenience. Because if you don't deal with it, then it will become a giant, huge problem and a thorn in your eye that will stop you from being able to grow and become who the Lord calls you to be in the truth. You understand? Brothers face these things as well, but men in here are required to be aggressive. Brothers aren't allowed to be passive aggressive in many ways because of the rank, in many ways because of how watchful the men over them are of anything watering down these ranks. But it can slip through the cracks when brothers have disagreements or brothers don't like each other or brothers feel like, man, I don't need always doing this or that brother always doing that. But you better go talk to that brother and find out and let him know what he's doing, make you feel uncomfortable, make you feel some kind of way. Because if you don't do it, if you don't address it, then one day you're going to hate that brother. And one of you two going to be out of the truth because of that hatred that you had over that little thing you didn't like. And we're going to be we're going to be the people the Lord called us to be. If we're going to live the life of righteousness that Christ called for us to live, then guess what? We're going to have to fight through the pettiness that we want to ignore and address it head on if we're going to be a family, if we're going to be brothers and sisters. Everybody understands? Sometimes what can help you is having discernment. Let me get a scripture on this. One of the greatest gifts of our King Christ was his discernment. And discernment is a gift that not everybody has. Not everybody has discernment, which is why it's absolutely necessary to not suffer minor petty inconveniences. Something happens or you feel something or somebody does something that's small and minor and it bothers you some kind of way, you have to address it head on. Christ was excellent at not allowing anything small or seemingly meaningless bypass him. Christ absolutely checked and dealt with anything that he felt was wrong or off in the moment that he addressed it. All right, let's get let's get get Mark. Hold on, let's get Mark chapter 10 verse 2. Man, let's not get Mark 10. Bear with me for a second. Let me get one. All right, let's get Luke chapter 11, verse 14. All right. It's going to be a lot, but we're going to get into it. All right. This scripture here is about discernment. And oftentimes, again, particularly with y'all sisters, you sisters have wonderful discernment when it comes to things that I'm going to say aren't important. But when it comes to things that you care about, excellent discernment. Wonderful ability to read a spirit and to know what's going on and to, have an idea of what someone thinks or what someone feels. But when it comes to yourself and analyzing yourself and checking yourself, your discernment is absolutely horrible. Sister discernment will absolutely tell a woman to go through her man's phone. She'll pick that phone up and go through it and find he's talking to 5 other women. But they don't have the discernment to stop themselves from going through the phone and say, you know what? Me and my husband are having a wonderful time. Everything is going smooth with us. Let me not look through that phone because Satan is trying to play me. Your discernment is there to go through the phone to catch him talking to other women, but your discernment isn't there to stop yourself from ruining your relationship. When it comes to being who the Lord called you to be, for brotherhood's sake, for righteousness' sake, you have to learn to have the discernment to check yourself, or have the discernment to know when something is attacking you and to deal with it head on, to address it directly. Everybody understands. As brothers, we need that discernment in our lives in order to avoid getting played, in order to avoid getting taken advantage of, in order to avoid being I don't want to say abused, but it's on that vibe. Like as a man, as men in this society, we learn very early how to not be played, how to not get taken advantage of, how to watch and really read between the lines when it comes to conversation and what someone is saying and what someone is trying to do so we can avoid being lined up. A lot of times sisters don't really develop that discernment, or they develop it and rather than them using it to protect themselves, they'll use it to attack others. Some women who use discernment to take advantage of others. You recognize when somebody is, kind or gentle or sweet or really not paying attention or aware, and you be sinister and sneaky and do things that you absolutely should not do. All of us must learn how to use discernment to deal with things that we think we see aggressively, and to make sure that we are careful over ourselves, that we aren't the ones that are being abusive or trying to take advantage or use our ability to read through situations or read through people to take advantage of them. Everybody understands? So this is, what did I call for? Luke chapter 11, verse 14. Let's get Luke chapter 11, verse 14. Luke chapter 11, verse 14. Baraka, you got it. You can read it.
Oh God. Luke chapter 11, verse 14. And he was casting out a devil, and it was dumb. And it came to pass, when the devil was gone out, the dumb spake, and the people wondered. But some of them said, He casteth out devils through Beelzebub, the chief of the devils. And others tempting him sought of him a sign from heaven.
Now, Christ is casting out devils, right? When it says he casted out one devil that was dumb, what did that mean? This is a brother who could not speak, right? The brother had a retardation demon, or what they call him, a mental handicap, a learning disability, right? These things that we read about in the Bible are things that are common to us today. They just don't use the same language. Many of you brothers and sisters, you may have children you're dealing with who are, what they call them, autistic or on the spectrum, right? And the doctors tell you that your son or daughter will never be able to talk. They'll never be able to learn. You can never expect nothing from this child. A lot of the times, those children are struggling with demons, spirits that are causing them to be delayed, causing them to be dumb, right? Not dumb in the sense they can't learn, but that's what they used to call people who couldn't speak or couldn't, talk or couldn't hear. They called them dumb, maimed, blind. Everybody understand those type of terminologies. But this is a brother who was dumb. Christ casted a demon out of him, and when the demon left, guess what? Now the brother could talk. Now he could speak. Some of you, your children are autistic. Your children are battling with that demon. You have faith and you trust in the Lord will heal your child from that demon. And that dumb will leave one day, and then your child will be talking and will be speaking and will be learning. Some of you had those children that are autistic and they got other gifts that aren't being recognized because you're so concerned about how well they can socialize and how they'll be treated by other kids. You missed the fact that this cat is a musical genius. Well, this cat can paint or memorize numbers that you don't know how the hell they learned them. There's other gifts that they have. You got to learn to trust in the Lord and look beyond the demon that's trying to hold them back. Everybody understand? Now, when Christ healed the brother, people that were around that saw the demon cast out said, "Man, this nigga is this nigga. He got a demon on him. He casting the demons out of folks through Satan. He got power from Satan to cast these demons out and to make the dumb be able to speak." Everybody understand? Now, Christ understood that not everybody who saw these miracles believed it was the power of God. He understood that not everybody who saw these miracles saw them as a good thing or a positive omen. He knew that some men were hating on him. He knew that some niggas didn't like him because of the power that he had or because of the ways that the Lord used him. And they would tempt him, meaning they would come and ask him things, not being genuine, not really trying to know or get the answers, but trying to be smart asses, trying to make him look dumb, trying to trip him up. Let's see how Christ dealt with those who came tempting him, asking him questions. Read on.
Verse 16, and others tempting him, sought of him a sign from heaven. But he, knowing their thoughts, said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation.
Now, Christ didn't check them. Christ didn't say, you niggas is evil for hating on me. You niggas are evil for not liking me. But he did check them aggressively by saying what? Every house divided against itself is brought to desolation. You understand? Christ dealt with the hating directly. Christ discerned that there was some men that didn't like him. And the way that he addressed it by telling them, if you hate me, then we destroy. If you and me aren't together, nigga, then we divided. And we cannot stand divided. You understand? This here is the reason why you can't be in the truth and not like a brother. You can't be in the truth and that, man, I ain't really my kind of nigga. What are you talking about? That is your brother. And you better love that nigga and prefer him the way you prefer and choose anybody. You can't be in the truth and have a clique of niggas you rock with and a clique of niggas you don't. That's we a house divided, We a kingdom divided, And a house divided and a kingdom divided is what? Is brought to desolation. Keep reading.
And a house divided against a house fallen. If Satan also be divided against himself, how shall his kingdom stand? Because ye shall say that I cast out devils through Beelzebub. And if I by Beelzebub cast out devils, by whom do your sons cast them out? Therefore shall they be your judges.
Stop right there. Everybody understand? Christ made it known that if you hating on me, that if you're not my brother, if we not together in this thing, then this thing gonna fall apart. This thing is doomed to fail. And it is the reason why today, for brotherhood's sake, we got to learn to put aside the petty inconveniences that we have. You feel like somebody doesn't like you, rather than avoid them, you should be around them more. Feel like somebody ain't your cup of tea or your type of brother or sister, then you need to make sure that you know talk to them and find out what the problem is, what the issue is. But if you think that it's okay to be in this family and to be in this body and to not like brothers and sisters and to not get along with people, then guess what? You are the problem. You are what's wrong with this place. If you think it's okay to be here and we not all on the same page, we don't all love each other and choose each other and prefer each other. And if you're not going to go and if you're not going to go to the brother or sister who you feel some kind of way about and deal with them directly on it, well, then you need to deal with yourself. And the way that you deal with yourself is be willing to change and lose whatever it is about you that makes brothers and sisters not like you, that makes people look at you sideways. And the demon inside of you is not going to want to change. The demon inside of you is going to want it to be everybody else's fault. You grow in the truth when you accept that it's your fault, that you're to blame. Everybody understands? Drop that. Hold on. Give me a second. Get Matthew chapter 16. Matthew chapter 16. All right. Matthew chapter 16, verse 21. What is hold on, there I could. What does this look like what I'm describing to you all in this class? What I'm talking about right now? About making changes for the brotherhood's sake or addressing problems and issues for the brotherhood's sake. Not letting little small petty inconveniences rot inside of you until they turn into giant problems and burning fires that need to be, addressed in an emergency. How do you deal with something that's needs to be dealt with in a timely fashion so that it doesn't grow and blow out of proportion? You got to follow the example that our king set. You have to proceed and deal with brothers and sisters the way that Christ proceeded and dealt with brothers and sisters. Everybody understands? Let's see how Christ dealt with his friends and dealt with his brothers in times and moments where he was faced with minor, small inconveniences. Let's read Matthew chapter 16, verse 21.
Matthew chapter 16, verse 21. From that time forth began Jesus.
You say Jesus, go ahead.
Began Jesus to show unto his disciples how that he must go into Jerusalem and suffer many things of the elders and chief priests and scribes and be killed.
Now Christ is telling his disciples, listen, man, all these things are going to have to happen to me. It is written, man, that I got to go up here and they're going to come out against me and they're going to betray me and I'm going to suffer. They're going to beat me and I'm going to have to die, man. I'm going to have to lose my life for the kingdom's sake, man, so that the Lord can raise this nation up. Christ is telling his disciples all these things that must come to pass, right? Now, what did Christ's disciples usually do when he was telling them things, when he was prophesying to them, teaching them? Barack.
They used to be kind of confused on what he was saying, right?
Okay. Did they ever,
They asked a lot of questions.
did they challenge him though? Did they ever say, man, you wrong, man? Don't say that. Don't do that.
No.
Christ's disciples did not challenge him. They did not. They may have questioned him out of confusion, but they never, man, you wrong about that. What you saying that for? You can't say that. Right? Christ is telling them all the things that he's going to have to suffer, all the things that he's going to have to go through going into Jerusalem. He's warning them, giving them a heads up. Why? Because he wants them to strengthen themselves. He wants them to prepare themselves. That happens oftentimes in the truth. You coming into the truth or you dealing with a situation or a circumstance and you get counsel and the counsel will say, you got to watch out for this. You better watch out for that. Hey, listen, I know you like to do this, but you got to be careful. That could be a demon. You get a warning. You get a heads up, right? Let's see how Christ's disciples handled it this time. Keep reading.
And be raised again on the third day. Verse 22. Then Peter took him and began to rebuke him, saying, Be it far from thee, Lord, this shall not be unto thee.
Now, this time, when Christ was telling them about what was going to happen, what did Peter pull him aside and said, Salakia, sir, you got to stop talking like that, man. You can't be telling us what's going to happen to you, man. We ain't going to let nothing happen to you. You got to stop talking like that, man. You know what I'm saying? The things you saying, they going to come, you going to make them come to pass. We ain't letting that happen to you. Peter was letting them know, man, you shouldn't be telling us that. That's wrong. We can't be having us think that we're going to lose you or something. You making it seem like we some hoes or something. You talking about what's going to happen to you. Be it far from you. We ain't letting that happen to you. Right? Now, Peter is doing this. Why?
That's his brother.
He love him. Christ like, man, Peter like, man, we ain't gonna let that happen to you. Why you talking like that, sir? Salakia. Don't say that. That's wrong. That's jammed up. Right? Let's read on.
Verse 23, but he turned and said unto Peter, get thee behind me, Satan. Thou art an offense unto me.
Christ said, get thee behind me, Satan. Thou art an offense to me. You understand? Peter thought he loved Christ. Peter thought, Salakia, sir, don't say that. Don't talk like that, man. That's wrong. You ain't gonna let nothing happen to you. Christ had to say, Satan, stop trying to play me. Christ could read through what Peter thought was love and understand that it was Satan. You understand?
That's crazy.
Now, again, going back to this discernment, you may talk to somebody and you talk to them and, you know, it's Shalom, you dap a brother up and talk to him and everything seem cool. But you feel like, that nigga ain't, okay, there's something that happens that isn't just random, right? And again, I'm not trying to harp on sisters, but I know sisters experience this a lot more often maybe than brothers do. Or maybe brothers experience it just as much, but we handle things differently, right? Sometimes somebody will say something to you or ask you a question or will do something that you feel is inappropriate. And you'll feel like, why would they say that in front of everybody? Why would she ask me that knowing my situation? Or if you going through something and somebody asks you, well, you know, girl, how's so-and-so? And you like, why would you ask me about that? Knowing that I know what's going on with me and so-and-so, why are you asking me about so-and-so? Sisters, don't take that and ignore it. Don't just smile and say, oh, girl, well, you know it's good. You feel like it's a demon in somebody that's causing them to, they pretending to be nice, pretending to be your friend. Really, a bitch is trying to be in your business. You don't just play it off and take it and accept it like it's cool. Pull her aside and say, Salaki, just if I could, why did you ask me about so-and-so or such and such? Why did you ask me about that situation? And the sister say, well, the point I'm making is you got to nip that shit in the bud. Right. Don't take an offense and then suffer it and don't do nothing about it. You could be wrong about why she's asking you the question. She could not know nothing. She could not been gossiping or talking to nobody about your situation. She just care about you, ain't seen you in a while, and ask you, girl, hi, so-and-so, such and such. But because of you knowing what you going through and you knowing how bitches are and how bitches be talking, you think that the sister's being sneaky or offending you by saying something. But rather than you addressing her and knowing for sure, you won't say nothing. Now you hate this woman. You hate this sister because surely the bitch asked me about such and such because she know we beefing. She could not know a goddamn thing. But now you don't know for sure because you didn't address it.
Right.
Pull that sister aside, talk to her. Somebody, and like I said, as brothers, we may do this better because we know with our whole lives we know how to nigga say something. How did nigga say that? Why he asked me that? Why would he ask me that in front of everybody? Go back to that brother, pull him aside, Salaki, sir, if I could. When you asked me such and such, it made me feel it made me feel like, I don't know, you trying to put me on Jump Street or something, or, trying to embarrass me, Salaki. I just had to ask you for my conscience sake. Why would you do that? Why would you say that? Brother say, Salaki, I ain't mean like that, or man, my bad, I didn't even know the situation was going on. Brothers, you have to do that. In order to maintain the brotherhood, you got to not be weak when it comes to discernment. If you feel like you sent something and something made you feel some kind of way, nigga, deal with that. Address it in the moment. Don't sit on it. Don't wait. Now, when I say address it in the moment, of course, Be mindful of where you are and who you talking to. Don't address it at camp, or this is something that's a personal situation. But sisters, y'all deal with this way worse than we do. Especially you sisters that's married. You go to your husband. You go to your husband like, you ain't gonna believe what so and so said and did. You be like, what happened, baby? Oh, that bitch had the nerve to something, such and such. And you be like, well, did you say something to her? Nah, I didn't say nothing. Why not? I don't know, cuz not. Don't do that, bitch. Don't come tell me. Don't tell me what you think somebody said or did. Go pull them aside and talk to them about it. Because if you don't do it, you're gonna end up hating them. And it could be some shit you made up in your mind. But because you don't want to fight yourself, you understand? You'll end up hating a brother or sister because of something that really could have easily been resolved. Right. You feel something from somebody, you got to address them. You got to deal with it. Christ addressed Peter immediately. Peter, come on, man. Don't talk like that, sir. Ain't nothing going to happen to you, man. We ain't going to let nothing happen to you. You're going to live forever. Christ said, Peter, get behind me, Satan. You're an offense to me. Why? Because Christ understood that what he was having to go do was difficult and something that he really didn't want to do. He was drawing on his disciples for strength. And for Peter to say, man, we ain't going to let nothing happen to you, it was weakening Christ's resolve, weakening his acceptance of what God had planned for him. And in that moment, Christ could not be weak. Christ could not afford to feel like, yeah, now my nigga's going to ride for me. Peter, shut your fucking mouth, Fox. Excuse my language. Right. Peter, watch your mouth. Shut the fuck up. You hear what I'm trying to tell y'all, man? You need to be focusing on what I'm saying, not what you think about what I'm saying. That's the way it got to be. Sometimes you have to nip things in the bud so that you can focus on what sisters are horrible at this too. A sister will say something to you, or somebody will say something to you, and you hear a complete different thing. You don't actually hear what was said. You hear what the fuck you think was said. What you think was said is not valid. You cannot go off of what you think they meant by what they said. You got to go off of what was actually said. And if you feel like your discernment is telling you something different, well, then guess what? You need to deal with it. Or if you're told you're wrong on it, now you got to examine yourself. You got to check yourself. What is it about me that make me think that somebody always trying to take a shot at me? What is it about me that make me think somebody always is trying to talk down to me or belittle me? Why is there something inside of you that always wants to feel attacked? Why is there something inside of you that always wants to feel like somebody doesn't like you or somebody is against you? Maybe that thing inside of you is trying to keep you to itself. It don't want you to have any friendships or have any relationships or have anybody in your life that really care about you. So it causes you to do things and move in ways to where nobody will want to fuck with you. To where nobody will want to be your friend. Nobody will want to be cool with you. Nobody will want to hang out because you don't know how to be friendly and sociable. You only know how to fuck shit up. Don't be the brother or sister that always is fucking shit up. Excuse my language. Don't be the brother or sister that's always keeping mess going and keeping nonsense around you, because you will be marked as the person that's always got some shit going on. Don't talk to that sister, man. She always got some shit with her. You understand? Nah, man, listen, don't hang out with them, man. Them brothers always drinking and always getting into something. Don't get on the game with those brothers. They always in council over the goddamn video game. Niggas can't play the video game and not argue. Then don't be part of the video game council crew. Don't do that. Right. There's a lot of different ways in the truth that you can find yourself not being who the Lord called you to be and fitting out. This is not a place where you want to fit out. This is a place where you want to fit in. And you're going to have to find ways to fix yourself and to change yourself and to conform so that you can be a part of this brotherhood, a part of this sisterhood. Everybody understand? Remember, Christ said, no greater love have a man than he lay down his life for his friend. There may be some things inside of you that you got to let go of. You got to lay it down. Why? Not for yourself. You may be completely happy with who you are. You may be completely accepting of who you are and how you talk. And if they don't like it, then that's on them. But guess what? That's unacceptable in here. You can't be that person in here. So guess what? You got to lose that shit. You got to rid yourself of that thing that make you say, I'll be by myself if I got to. Not in here you won't. Because I'm going to make sure you're around. I'm going to make sure I see you all the time, every day, talk to you all the time. Until that demon either leaves or either the demon going to go and I'll gain you as a brother or sister, or you'll leave and I'll be free of the headache. Either way, I'm not going to dwell with no fucking demon.
Right.
I conquer demons. I battle demons. I destroy demons. And demons either flee from me or the person that the demon is in stays and they die. That's how it goes. But I'm not going to let no demon beat me. I can't be beaten. Why? Why? Because I'm special? Because I'm some magical nigga? No, because the Lord is with me. The Lord required me. The Lord made it so I couldn't dwell with a demon. Well, if I fought my demons inside of me, what make you think I'm not going to fight your demons inside of you? Right. I can't be cool with my own demons. You think I'm going to be cool with yours? Fuck that. Excuse my language. I'm not being cool with your demons. Nah. You're going to have to be uncomfortable just like I was uncomfortable. You understand? And if you're too comfortable, then that means I'm not on my job. If you're comfortable, your demons is cool being around, I ain't on my job. If you ain't around, that means you siding with your demon. Bring your ass over here. I need you here all the time. Every day I need to see you. What's going on? What's your situation? How you doing? And if me and your demon got to have it out, then we got to have it out. But guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to gain my brother. I'm going to gain my sister. That needs to be everybody's mentality in this place. Your mentality towards one another has got to be, we have got to be the best of friends and in the most love as brothers or sisters, or why the fuck are you here? Excuse my language. I didn't leave the world behind to come in here and be around niggas that I feel like don't like me. What kind of faggot shit is that? If I'm in the truth and I feel like a nigga don't like me, what's wrong with you? Nigga, I'm cool as shit. I'm fun as hell to be around. What's wrong with you? Nah, if there's something wrong with me, nigga, tell me. Why you ain't tell me? Nigga, what's wrong with you? Why you don't fuck with me? I'm cool. Nah, sometimes, you know what I'm saying, you talk too much, nigga. You think you the shit or blah, blah, blah. Why you ain't tell me then, nigga? You mean you around me and I think I'm the shit and you didn't come tell me, hey, that shit ain't cool to think you the shit? You think you the most popping nigga alive, nigga. You ain't that popping. Tell me. I could be playing myself. I could be making myself look stupid. How the fuck could you be around me and let me look stupid, nigga? We together. Right. I'm not gonna let you look stupid. I'm not gonna be outside with you and you embarrassing yourself. You embarrassing me, nigga. So I'm gonna pull you aside and say, hey, I tighten up, man. You drunk, nigga. You looking dumb. You making us look weak out here. Now you might be mad at me, but guess what? You gonna have to tighten that shit up, nigga. And if you can't go out without being an embarrassment, without looking dumb, the next time you need to sit your ass at home. You need to stand down. What? Because you ain't gonna make me look stupid in the streets. The fuck? Something gotta change. And it should be the same way for sisters. It should. Why are you around if this bitch don't like you? Why she here? You mean to tell me you be around bitches that you don't like? You let bitches that don't like you be around? What's wrong with you, hoe? Man, you a hoe. Bitch, you let hoes be around that you don't like. You around bitches and you feel some kind of way. Why you ain't go talk to her? Pull that sister aside and say, I'm trying to be cool with y'all bitches, but every time I come around, everybody friendly, but you, hoe, what's wrong? If we got a problem, if you won't do that, then you the problem. You the weak one. You got the demon. You understand what I'm saying? Right, yeah, that's how Christ dealt with Peter. Let's read it. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I'm just Captain Soccer War going off. Let's see what the scriptures say. Let's read one more time in Luke. Matthew, Slocky.
Matthew chapter 16, verse 23. Once I there go up.
Nah, stop. Yeah, verse 23.
Verse 23. But he turned and said unto Peter, Get thee behind me, Satan. Thou art an offense to me, for thou savorest not the things that be of the Most High, but those that be of men.
You understand? Christ checked Peter, man. Peter, shut the fuck up, man. And Peter, get behind me, man. Why you talking, nigga? You understand? You desire the things of man, not the things of the Lord. What were the things of man? Peter wanted to ride, man. Peter was like, Christ, you tripping, nigga. We're going to kill these niggas. They come at you. We're going to fuck them up. Christ had to say, hey, so like, you stand down, huh? Nigga, the Lord want me to die. I gotta die, nigga. I gotta suffer. Right. Don't be fucking telling me what I ain't gonna do or what I can't do, nigga. You want the glory of man. Peter wanted to be so gangster, wanted to be so hardcore, and it was genuine too. Peter was a real nigga. They came for Christ. Peter cut a nigga ear off. Right. That's how sharp he was with the sword. Christ had to tell Peter, hey man, shut up with all that tough talk, man. Shut up with all that gangster shit out. You savor the things of the world. Oh, Peter wanted the glory so bad. Peter wanted niggas to be like, them niggas with that Christ nigga is gangster. He wanted it so bad. Christ said, man, shut the fuck up. Be quiet, huh? You savor the things that are of man, but the Lord wants this for me, man. Let's keep reading.
Verse 24. Then Jesus said unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me.
What was Peter's cross to bear? Ooh, listen. What was Peter's cross to bear? Right after Christ told Peter, shut the fuck up, then he said, if any man gonna follow me, take up your cross and bear it. What was Peter's cross to bear?
Not being able to do that when he wanted to.
But say it, make it clearer.
He wanted to kill somebody for Christ.
Nigga, Peter wanted to ride. You want to know what Peter's cross was? Peter's cross was he had to look like a bitch. Peter had to go out like a hoe. Nigga, that was his cross to bear. In the moment when shit was supposed to get gangster, Peter had to be like, I don't even know that nigga. What? What? And what? Peter wanted to ride. He wanted to kill some shit. Christ told Peter, shut up, nigga, and bear your cross. They're going to take me. They're going to beat me and I'm going to die. And you ain't going to do shit about it. That was Peter's cross to bear. He told him later on at the Last Supper, before this all said and done, you're going to deny me 3 times. Peter like, man, you got me fucked up. I ain't denying shit. All right, no sweat. When the shit went down, they came and got him, and niggas was pointing Peter out in the crowd. Peter was like, nah, I don't know that nigga. I don't know what y'all talking about, man. Y'all got me fucked up. Then Peter heard the rooster crow and was cut. Sick because I am that hoe. I did go out like a bitch. I talked all that shit, and when the time came, I did exactly what that nigga. How did he know? How did Christ know? Because Christ had discernment, and because he loved Peter, he didn't just let Peter go out like a hoe, because that would have crushed Peter. That would have killed him to feel like, nigga, I went out like a bitch. They took my man and killed him, and I didn't do shit. Christ loved Peter enough that he warned him, gave him the heads up, so that when it happened, Peter would accept, man, that was the Lord's will. Peter wasn't no bitch, so why would he be scared in the moment?
Right.
Because the Lord needed him to be like, nigga, I don't know if y'all understand what happened. Like, Peter was a gangster, nigga. Peter wasn't no hoe. Peter would die for this shit. Yeah. Christ told him, you not only are you not going to die for this shit, but you're going to go out worse than anybody. And hold up. When it happened to Peter, Peter had to acknowledge that was the Lord. The fear I felt, the not wanting to go through, like that was the Lord. Now deal with it. And Peter, are you gonna break? You gonna let this break you? You gonna go off and kill niggas to prove how much of a gangster you are? You gonna go murder everybody in my name, so you go to jail and get murdered and that a true fall? Right. Or you gonna stand strong, Peter, and go teach? Right. You gonna go teach? You gonna tell these brothers about me and about my sacrifice, or you gonna crash out? Peter had to stomach that he went out like a bitch, and then accept it and say, you know what? I'm gonna honor him by teaching. I'm not gonna ride. I'm not gonna kill. I'm gonna desire the things of the Lord, not the things of man. Right. Like, what you whining about? What you crying for? We all in. I'm ISUP K1 West 125th Street in Harlem, New York, since 1969. We don't take no losses. We don't get beat or defeated. Christ had to. I mean, Peter had to take an L. Peter had to take an L and then eat it and stomach it. God damn. What's your problem? What's your offense? What's holding you back from serving the Lord? You fuck that. Excuse my language. Like, I need y'all to understand that for brotherhood's sake, it's some things about yourself you're going to have to fix. It's some things you're not going to like letting go of, but you better let go of that shit. You better drop it because it is destroying you. It is keeping you from the life that the Lord wants you to have. And if you don't want to let go of the thing that you hold so dear to you, then guess what? The Lord will take it anyway. He'll take it, and you won't become who he called you to be. That thing you so desperately holding on to, You'll lose it anyway, and you'll still be by yourself in the world. Damn that. Let's keep reading.
Come on. Verse 20, what was it, 24? No, 25. For whosoever will save his life shall lose
There
it.
you go. You want to hold on to that shit in the world? You want to hold on to, yeah, I can't nobody tell me what to do or not. Them hoes just be hating on, I don't care if they don't like me. Bitch, shut up. Shut your mouth, ho. You stupid. Bitch, you don't know nothing.
Right.
You should just do what the fuck you told to do, and whatever you thinking, just tell yourself you're wrong. I must be wrong because I'm thinking. Why you thinking? Who told you to think? That ain't your job. That ain't your position. Do what you told. Because you want to hold on to your thoughts and hold on to what you think and what you feel. Guess what? You're going to lose your life. You're going to lose the opportunity the Lord is trying to give you to become a better woman, to become a better brother, to become a good wife and a strong husband and a good father and a good mother. All because you want to hold on to what you think. Fuck what you think. Read it from the top one more time, verse 25.
Come on, verse 25. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it. And whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find.
Stop it.
It's like, for my sake.
Say it again.
For my sake.
Read it from the top, from the comma.
And whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it.
Lose your life for the Lord's sake. Lose who you are for the truth's sake. Lose who you are for brotherhood's sake. Not because of me or what I'm saying. Who the fuck am I?
Right.
But for what our king said.
Right.
For what the Lord said. For what your brothers and your sisters need from you. You think all of us aren't necessary in here? You think you coming into the truth was a small thing? The Lord brought you here because you were needed to add to this brotherhood, to add to this sisterhood. You single sisters, you were brought in here because the Lord needed you to be a wife to a brother. So you can become a better mother to your children. You brothers that come in here, you meet a sister in here, you want to marry her. The Lord brought you in here to clean you up to be a man in that woman's life. Don't take that shit for a small thing. It's not minor. It's not little. You can't overlook the Lord in heaven, galaxies and dimensions away. There's billions of people on the fucking planet, and out of all the billions of people that have ever lived on the earth in life, he chose right now in the year 2025 for you to be sitting in this class, hearing this word on March 20th. You think you don't count? You think you aren't important? You aren't special? Who's telling you that? Who's telling you that it don't matter? It's not important. Fuck what they talking about. Shut your mouth. Tell that thing inside of your head, shut the fuck up. You trying to play me. Don't get played out of your position. The Lord has put you here because he wants something great out of you. He wants something amazing out of you. But you can't get it out of yourself. The Lord got to get it. And in order for you to get it, you're going to have to lose yourself. You're going to have to let go of that thing that you think makes you special, makes you unique. Guess what? It doesn't make you special. It doesn't make you unique. It just makes you an outcast. There's nothing special about being a weirdo. Right. There's nothing special about being the person that doesn't fit in. Don't be the person that fit out and wear it as a badge of honor. Yeah, they don't really. I remember coming into the truth. When I came into the truth, I was very unique in my personality and the way that I talk and the way that I carry myself. But I didn't fit out. I got checked to piss tons of time because there was a lot of things about me that needed to change. A lot of shit that I thought was cool was weird. Right. But these men cared enough about me to check me and correct me and to grind me, stay on top of me till I fixed it. I had to learn to fit in. Even though I was who I am and I may not have been like everybody else, guess what? I didn't fit out, though. Right. I wasn't just, that nigga. Salaki, I ain't never been a lame or a loser ever in my life. And I wasn't going to come in the truth and be a lame or a loser. Why would you come in the truth around these real-ass niggas and be a lame? That got to hurt. Right. I know men that have left the truth because they fit out. And I know they hate that they did not fit in here. Imagine being around the realest niggas you ever met, and they all look at you like, you weird. What's wrong with you? Salaki, I ain't never had that. I knew I was different, but I never felt like I was lame. I never felt they looked at me like, this nigga weird. They just looked at me like, this nigga think he knows some shit he don't. This nigga think it was a Salaki. The things that I had to change about myself coming into the truth I had to change because the men who loved me couldn't stand it. Right? It wasn't like niggas was hating on me or nigga. I never felt no hate and jealous vibes. I just felt you don't see yourself the way we see you. I know you think that shit fly, but really that shit lame. I know you think that shit cool, but really it's goofy. I know you think that shit you pop and fly, but really, that shit's weak. And I didn't understand. A lot of the times in the moment, I didn't understand it. But I look back later like, damn, them niggas really cared about me. They really loved me because they could have not cared and said nothing. Just let the nigga destroy yourself. And I would have did it. But nah, this ain't that place. And so if you're somebody who you feel like you always getting checked or you always getting corrected or damn, they always telling me something, it's because we love you. And you don't see yourself. You don't know what we see. And what we see is that you're gonna fuck this up if nobody is on top of you. If don't nobody check you you're gonna fuck it up. And we would hate to see that. So guess what? We're gonna check you. We're gonna stay on top of you. We're gonna constantly grind you and force you to accept what it is that we're telling you, because either we're gonna salvage you and get the best parts of you, or you and all that fuck shit could just leave. Right. And it will be better for it. It'll be addition by subtraction, because it's better off with none of the problems that you brought than for us to have you around and then you just keep causing shit. Everybody understands? Definitely. So let's keep on reading in Matthew chapter 18. We're in verse 26 now.
Verse 26. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul?
What good is it for you to gain the world and lose your soul? That thing that you're trying to cling to, it wants your soul. And you have got to let go of it if you're going to serve the Lord. Because if you don't let go of it, hell, you may gain the world. But guess what you'll lose in the process? You'll lose your soul. And for all of us, the number one enemy we have is that thing inside of ourselves. That thing that tries to tell us that we know better and we know what we're doing, and you don't need somebody to tell you what to do all the time. That thing hates you. That thing wants to destroy you, and it wants to consume you. And really, it doesn't want anyone else being in control. It wants to be in control. You got to fight that thing with every ounce of your being, because if you don't fight it and win, you will lose your soul. Everybody understand? Drop that. We could drop that. Let's get some more on this discernment. All right. Matter of fact, let's drop that. Let's get Proverbs 17 and 17.
Proverbs 17, 17?
Yeah. Go ahead, read it.
Proverbs chapter 17, verse 17. A friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity.
Everybody understands. A friend loveth at all times, right? The context of this friend is the context of friend that Christ used in the New Testament, right? And you know what I'm saying? There's no greater love than a man lay down his life for his friend, right? You my friends if you keep my commandments, right? A friend loveth at all times. What are the all times? Right? You go to Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter. Let's go to, matter of fact, let's hold this. We're going to hold Proverbs 17 and 17. We can go to Ecclesiastes chapter 3, all right? Go to Ecclesiastes chapter 3. We're going to start at verse 1. These are all the times that a friend loves, right? Friend loveth at all times. Let's read about the times that a friend loves. Read on. No sweat, no sweat. It was at Proverbs 17 and 17. We're going to Ecclesiastes 3 and 1. I'll read it for time's sake. Go ahead, do your thing. All right, so we was at Proverbs 17 and 17, and it said, a friend loves at all times. and a brother is born for adversity, right? Let's read Ecclesiastes 3:1 and find all the times that a friend is there to love. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. So guess what? Everything has its time. Everything has its season. Everybody understands? Verse 2, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to get and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to rend and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. Guess what? If you have someone in your life that is a friend, they're going to love you through all of that shit. Excuse my language. They're going to love you through all those times. You understand? Now, can someone love you through all these times if they don't really like you like that? They don't really get down with you. They don't really like your vibe or your style, or, they just ain't really my cup of tea. That ain't a friend. You understand? In here, we all friends. You better be my friend, goddammit. I need to make sure I better be able to depend on you and call on you no matter what. I don't care what you're thinking, how you feeling, how long of a day you had. If I call on you and I need you, you're supposed to be my friend. You're supposed to love at all times. Guess what? I love at all times. Why can't you? If anybody has ever needed me and called me and I wasn't there, then come see me after this class and tell me, Cap, you be lying in class because you said you love as a friend, but you wasn't there for me. You understand? Right. We've been raised and taught and trained how to be friends. And if anybody is in here and think that they ain't got to be a friend, then someone has failed in teaching you and raising you up properly. You understand? You being a friend in here is non-negotiable. Nigga, you better be my friend. Just like I better be your friend. You don't like me, nigga, you better come talk to me about it. Because guess what? If I felt you didn't like me, I'm absolutely coming to you. What's wrong with you, nigga? Why you don't like me? Why we ain't cool? Why every time I come around you leaving the room or some shit, you trying to avoid me? Don't be avoiding me, man. What's wrong with you? You should feel the same way about everybody in here. You feel like there's somebody who ducking you and dodging you and don't really like you. You salute them and they don't salute back. You better find a time to pull them aside and say, excuse me, what's the problem? Because I salute everybody when I walk in the room, but every time I salute you, you don't smile at me or salute me back. We got an issue. Bring the demon out. Call it out to the forefront and deal with it. Everybody understand? A friend, back to Proverbs 17 and 17. A friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. You understand? Right. What does it mean a brother is born for adversity? Barack.
When it get tough, he by your side.
That's what the brother's there for. A brother ain't there for when everything is... Niggas ain't... Nigga, you better not be here for when it's time to pop bottles and party and holler at the girls, and you ain't here when it's time for warfare, nigga. Nah, I don't need no nigga like that. I don't need no half-ass friend. Right. I don't need a nigga. Salakia, Lord be with me. If anybody, Salakia, Lord be with me. If my situation changed the way that I think it's going to change, if any nigga is different towards me, I'm going to be super offended. Right, if you ain't been calling me out for the last 15 years, don't call me when you know that I got some money. Nigga, if you ain't been calling me when I didn't have a ride to go nowhere, nigga, do not call me when you see me pull up in that you know what I'm saying? If you ain't been trying to have a drink or hang out, nigga, you better not call me to hang out when you see me drinking the Johnny Walker Blue Label. If I done told brother, I done let niggas know, if I change or be any different, y'all please pull me aside and say, yo, Cap, you wildin'. Like the Lord done blessed you and you want some different shit. I'm offended. Well, I'm gonna be the same way. I told brothers last, Salaki, I told brother, I said, look, if I pull up next year to Passover, You know what I'm saying? With two fine sisters in a two-seater coupe, then you gotta pull me aside and be like, listen, Cap, you wasn't moving like that last year.
Right.
Last year you pulled up in the Jeep with your wife and the baby girl with a baby car seat. You pulling up with two-seaters, hopping out and gate. If I change, nigga, tell me. But guess what, nigga? If you change, I'm gonna be like, what the fuck is you calling me, You ain't want to hang out, nigga, before. What's different? Right. Something changed around here, something? Nigga, be a brother in adversity. Right. Be there for the tough times. And guess what? The Lord will make sure you have tough times so you can find out who a brother is. Then the Lord will also make sure you blessed before everybody so that he could expose the snakes as well. And there's some people that snakes that don't even know they snakes. They thinking they like Peter. Nah, I love you, man. I'm down. Nigga, you wasn't down. You ain't really about that life. Some people never are going to be able to change until somebody tells them how fucked up they are. There's some people that they in here. They don't know they fucked up. They think they perfectly fine. They cool. It's going to take somebody who's offended to tell them, Salaki, if I could, you said this or did this or do that every time I come around. So where they be like, what? And now you done saved their life because you was a brother. Because you cared enough to tell them when they was wrong. How we going to get help or get fixed if nobody calls us out on our bullshit? Right. You have to, if you might not be somebody that calls somebody out on their bullshit, you better learn to do it for brotherhood's sake. Imagine a brother or sister lead the truth and lose their life all because someone didn't warn them that their behavior was unacceptable. All because people stomach their bullshit. You mean to tell me you stomached my bullshit till I died in my sin because nobody wanted to be uncomfortable to tell me I was fucked up? Like, come on, damn that. Don't be like that. Come on with it, bro.
Is that I think it's in Ezekiel when the Lord said like the blood on your hands then, because you didn't warn them. Is that kind of like
that's a little different. What you're talking about is the Watchman scripture. That's Ezekiel 33. So like Ezekiel 18 and Ezekiel 33rd chapter, where Ezekiel talked about the watchman's responsibilities to give warning from the Lord. That's a little different.
Okay,
the blood ain't necessarily on your hands, but like how shameful is that to know that you could have helped somebody if you cared enough to talk about it?
Right.
Same go with brothers and sisters that leave the school. I don't want to hear from you after they leave about how fucked up they was or how off they was, and you ain't say that when they was here. Why you ain't tell that nigga he was weird to his face? Right. I've told niggas they weird to their face. I don't feel no kind of way because I know when the Lord is. I know sometimes I speak, it ain't me speaking. Right. I would have never said that shit. That was crazy. Why would you say that? The Lord said that.
Right.
So I done told plenty of niggas to their face, you weird for that, huh? Don't do that. That shit. Who told you that was okay, nigga? That's corny as fuck. So Salaki, you better go talk to that brother. That shit, you gonna end up out of the truth if you don't do it. And these brothers that I love and care about, but under normal circumstances, I wouldn't tell this nigga that shit. I wouldn't. I'm talking about I said some mean things to niggas. Right. You know, you a hoe. You moving real like a sucker. That's some weak ass shit. Everything you just said, that's some hoe ass shit. In other normal circumstances, I wouldn't have said that to this cat because we might have to fight or scrap, and I ain't trying to fight this nigga. But because of the spirit of the Lord, it wasn't even me. It was the Lord that told you was a hoe. Yeah, you a hoe. Huh? Some bitch ass shit you doing. Why you being such a faggot? Don't be a faggot in here. Go to that man. Talk to him. Nigga, you mad at what I said? You mad at the Lord. Right. You not mad at me. Right. But if you mad at me, tell me. So I can tell you, the Salaki, you was acting like a hoe. Now we go to council.
Right.
Now I tell you to your face, you a hoe. You got to fix that shit, address that issue, or it's gonna blow up. And you don't tell me that I was wrong for calling you a faggot to your face. Then I got to hear about it later that, yeah, nigga said I was a faggot. You were. Nigga, it wasn't me calling you a faggot. The Lord was saying it to you. And I know sometimes it'd be hard because the Lord used me to say it. I'm not no super tough gangster cat, but I know sometimes it could be like, damn, did he just say that to me? Soccer would say I was a hoe? Tell me to my face that I was acting like a faggot? You gotta know that was the Lord, huh? Because why would I tell you? Like, I'm not no brow get in your face and be aggressive. Like, if I'm telling you that shit, it's because I love you, huh? You acting like a hoe. Like, I heard everything you saying, huh? That shit's super weak. You gotta go talk to that brother talk to those brothers or whatever the situation is. You got to deal with that shit out, or else you're going to be out of here. Now, I know what I've told men to their faces. I know what the Lord has used me to warn brothers about. So if I say something about a nigga after he leave, I can say it because I told that nigga to his face he was a hoe. You was cool with that nigga, was buddy with him, and never told him nothing. He leave, and now you like, yeah, man, nigga always was weird. Hold up now. Don't say that. You watch your fucking mouth. Don't talk about that, brother, because you was right there with him. You should check yourself. Maybe he wouldn't have went out like a hoe if you would have been a brother. Maybe he wouldn't have went out like a hoe if you would have warned him. That's what the responsibility that we all got. Sister Shawabah said, is it like suffering sin upon your brother? That's exactly what it is. If you know someone is wrong and off and you accept it and suffer and just be quiet about it, you the problem. They might not know that they got a problem. They might not know how fucked up and goofy they look. You got to tell them and warn them. Because if you don't, they may never have the opportunity to correct themselves or fix themselves. Everybody understand? All right. Let's drop that. Let me get one more scripture on this, and then we're gonna get off of it. All right. Okay, here you go. And this is another way that brothers and sisters have to learn to deal with discernment, right? Again, all the time, just because you may see something or you may think something doesn't mean that it's right. Sometimes, for the brotherhood's sake, it's necessary to suffer righteously. You understand? Meaning what? Somebody treat you a certain way, talk to you a certain way, act a certain way when you're around, or you heard that you just got a vibe that this person don't really rock with me like that. You go to them and you talk to them about it. You get it out in the open, have an open dialogue, and y'all talking, clear the air, and everything is cool. But then you still feel like, I don't know if they genuine. I don't know if they really sincere. Guess what? You gotta eat it at that point. You gotta deal with it. You gotta now realize there may be a demon inside of me that want me to hate this brother or hate this sister. You gotta learn to take low. Everybody understands, and that's a very difficult thing for a lot of us to do coming out of the world. Is we always had to be winning, always had to come out on top, always had to be the one that was victorious. Sometimes in the truth, you got to learn to be the one that suffers. You got to learn to be the one that take an L. If taking an L means you gain your brother or your sister, then learn to take an L. Everybody understands. Christ taught us how to take an L, taught us how to suffer. Well, now, when I say take an L, meaning it may not actually be an L, but you perceive it as an L. You feel like it's an L. You may feel like other people see it as an L. So the fuck what? Learn to take a loss. Everybody understands. Right. Because sometimes taking a loss is what's necessary for brotherhood's sake. Let's read Matthew chapter 19, verse 4. No, hold up. Not Matthew 19. No, hold up. Not Matthew 19 and 4. Bear with me. Hold on. Get hold on. Matthew 5 and 41. Matthew, hold on. Matthew chapter 5, verse 38.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 38. Ye have heard that it hath been said, an eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth. But I say unto you, that ye resist not evil, but whosoever shall smite thee on the right cheek, turn to him the other also.
Everybody understand that? We were always taught eye for an eye, cheek for a cheek, right? What's fair is fair. Christ said, you niggas are not resisting evil. You understand? An eye for an eye and a cheek for a tooth doesn't stop evil. Right. All it does is repay evil for evil. Christ said you got to resist evil. There's something in you that wants to get payback, right, wants to win, wants to get revenge. Keep reading.
Oh my God. And if any man will sue thee at the law and take away thy coat, let him have thy cloak also.
So like Christ said, y'all don't resist evil, right? So like, but whosoever shall smite thee on your right cheek, turn to the left. Christ said, y'all don't know how to resist evil. Here's how you resist evil, right? Somebody smack you on the right cheek, give them the chance to smack the left one too. You take an L, don't look to get revenge or get payback. Sometimes you take an L and you say, you know what? I can handle it. Go ahead, hit me again. You understand? Not every offense needs to be responded to. Not every bad thing that happens to you means somebody got to pay and suffer. Everybody understand? Now, again, you do what's lawful and righteous in that somebody offended you, you go to them between you and him alone. Try to work it out. Go between them and y'all work it out, but you still feel like something ain't right or you still feel like, man, they ain't genuine, then guess what? You got to suck it up. If they aren't genuine, if they are doing something on purpose, guess what? Give them a chance to do it again. Give them a chance to show you just how evil and low down they are. Let the Lord build a case up with the Lord. Everybody understand? They hit you on that right cheek, turn the left too. They take you to law to sue over a coat, and guess what? You go ahead and give them two. Everybody understand? Keep reading.
And whosoever shall compel thee to go a mile, go with him twain.
They ask you to go a mile. They asking for a favor. You go above and beyond. Give them more than what they asking for. And why he's using these different scenarios? Why is he using these different situations? Because these are all scenarios and situations where you may feel like somebody's playing you.
Right.
You feel like somebody trying to take advantage of you. You feel like, who the fuck they think they ought to play with me like this? Christ is saying, I hear you, but nigga, be played. So what? If you played for righteousness' sake, then guess what? The Lord is with you. You understand? They smack your right cheek, turn to the left. Why is he saying that? Because nobody turns the cheek after they get smacked. They want to smack back.
Right.
Somebody gets sued for a coat, they're going to be reluctant to give that coat up. Christ said, nah, man, give the coat and the cloak. Don't even be bothered by the shit they doing. Don't let them bother you. You win sometimes. You win by being unbothered. You win by this evil this person trying to do. They trying to get your attention. They trying to affect your peace. You just be unbothered. Be unaffected by it. You understand? Keep reading.
Give to him that asketh thee, and from him that would borrow of thee, turn not thou away.
Give to him that asks. And to him that want to borrow, don't turn him away. Go ahead and give it to him. Keep reading.
Ye have heard that it hath been said, thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy. But I say unto you, love your enemies. Bless them that curse you. Do good to them that hate you. And pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you.
Everybody understands. You heard it been said, love your neighbor and hate your enemies. But I'm telling you, man, even love your enemies. Those who you feel like you may have a discernment, they trying to use me, take advantage of me. They just want to get what I got. They just want, so what, bitch? Give it up. So what, nigga? Go do it. You got a big ass house and you got 3 empty rooms. Let niggas come live in your house. Right. So they funky, they feet dirty, they ain't paying no rent. So what, nigga? Why you think the Lord gave you a house with 3 extra rooms in it? If not to house these brothers. You feel like they abusing you and taking advantage? So what? Let the Lord be the one to judge. Let the Lord be the one to get you to justice in the end. But in the meantime, shut up, nigga, and open up your house to these brothers and sisters that need it. Now, I'm not saying that to any of you. Of course, get counsel before you do anything. But if you get counsel and you get told to open up that house, open it up and trust in the Lord that he going to honor you for it. Everybody understand? You got to learn to be able to take an L for the Lord's sake. Keep reading.
And we'll come to verse 45. That ye may be the children of your Father which is in heaven. For he maketh his sun to rise on the evil and on the good, and sendeth rain on the just and on the unjust.
What does that mean? The Lord ain't just kind to the good people. The sun shines on the good and the evil. Why shouldn't your light shine on the good and the evil? Right. You understand? The rain falls on the righteous and the unrighteous. Well, why wouldn't rain fall on? Why would you avoid the rain falling on you and letting it fall on your enemies? There's certain things in life you gotta accept, and one of the things you gotta accept in life is sometimes you're gonna take an L, or it's gonna be perceived that you took an L. But if it's for the glory of the Lord, or if the Lord sees it and you truly believe in Him, well, then anything you suffer in His name, don't you know you're gonna be rewarded for it? Why is your ego so? Why are you so proud? Why is your ego so overinflated that you can't let it look like you took an L? Right. You can't take a brother to counsel and be told you was wrong. You can't take a sister to counsel and be told you were wrong. You that goddamn proud that you would rather hate a brother than to go to him and tell him he was wrong and risk having to go to counsel to be told, hey, I stop being a bitch. Damn, Mark, you got to fight that. Don't let your ego be so great that you refuse to gain your brother. Don't let your ego be so great that you refuse to gain your sister. Be better than that. Everybody understand?
Oh,
keep reading.
Verse 46. For if ye love them which love you, what reward have ye?
Everybody loves the people that love them. You gather with the people who just like you and think how you think and talk like you talk. What reward is that? What good are you doing? Nah, you gotta cross that bridge and get with the people that's not on the same page with you. You gotta learn to be a brother and a sister to the people that ain't on the same page that you on or into the same things you into. Everybody understands. That's how we're gonna be a family. The only way we're gonna be a nation. If everybody that's alike gather together, then we just gonna have a bunch of groups of people who alike and then we separate.
Right.
Don't be like that in here. Keep reading.
Do not even the publicans the same?
The publicans do the same shit. How you better than the Christians? If you only love the Israelites and the truth, you see brothers and sisters in the world, y'all look at these evil niggas, dirty niggas getting high and going to church, but then you in the truth, and you think that you're gonna be able to hate people in the world and love people in the truth, when the reality is you're gonna hate niggas in here too, because you a hater. Hating is hating, regardless. You gotta learn to be a lover. You gotta learn to love brothers and sisters. If you're gonna love in here, guess what? You're gonna have to love the brothers and sisters out there too. If you hate the brothers and sisters out there, guess what? You're gonna hate the brothers and sisters in here too. Right. Everybody understands. You just like the publicans, nigga. Keep reading.
And if you salute your brethren only, what do ye more than others?
If you salute your brothers only, what more do you do than others? Everybody salute the people that's down with them. This is a scripture about learning to be bigger than the pettiness, to rise above the minor things that keep us separated, that keep us, from being a family. F all that. Put that to the side. Love your brothers, man. Love your sisters. Let's all be family. Let's all be friends. Everybody understand? Keep reading.
Do not even the publicans so? Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect.
Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. Everybody understand? In order for you to reach perfection, guess what? There are some things that you're going to have to let go of for brotherhood's sake. There are some things you're going to have to let go of for righteousness' sake. And those things start inside of every one of us. Don't look outside at everybody else for things that need to be fixed and need to change. Look within yourself and find the ways that you can be better. Find the ways that you could be more acceptable. Find the ways that you could be more palatable. It's a good word. Palatable is like easily digested. Some of us rough around the edges. Some of us are not easy to be around. You better learn to be easy to be around if you're going to be in here. You better learn to be someone that everybody can get along with if you're going to be in here, because we are commanded by our King to be friends, to love one another. Everybody understands? All right, so we off that topic. Oscar Ward out of Canada got a couple questions. Let's get to Oscar Ward's questions. He got a 1 Corinthians 9 and 24 through 27. Want to get a general understanding of Paul's point if time allows. Let's get 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 24, all right?
1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 24. Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize?
So, what Paul is doing is he's giving you a metaphor. Don't you know that everybody that runs in a race, everybody runs to win, right? Nobody go run a race to come in third place or come in fifth place. I know I don't. If I'm competing, I'm trying to win. This is about competition, right? Everybody that competes, they compete to come in first place, to get a prize. Keep reading.
So run that ye may attain.
So guess what? You should run this race of life, run this race in the truth, so that you could win, so that you could get a prize, right? Keep reading.
And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things.
Everybody that strives for the mastery, striving for mastery is training, right? If you're striving for mastery in boxing, guess what? You in the gym, you punching the bag, you hitting the speed bag, you jumping rope, you're doing sit-ups, you're running, jogging miles every day. You're striving for mastery. If I'm striving for mastery in this Bible, guess what? I'm reading the scriptures all the time. I'm in class, asking questions every day. I'm putting together breakdowns and putting together precepts. I'm in class asking, Salakia, sir, does this scripture in Daniel, the 2nd chapter, The beast here, the same as the beast in Revelations, the 12th chapter. You're striving for mastery. You're studying. You're training. So everybody that strives for mastery, right, is temperament in all things. What does it mean to be temperament? To be temperament, temperate, Salakia, is discipline. So someone that trains to be a master, they're disciplined in everything they do. Again, you want to be a boxer, you can't only just go to the gym and work out. Guess what? You got to change your diet. Make sure you're eating the right things and drinking a lot of water. Got to make sure you're going to sleep on time and getting enough rest. Got to make sure you're not having sex with that woman before you go and fight that fight. There's certain things you got to do. If you're striving for mastery, you're going to have to be disciplined. Certain things you're going to have to give up. If you want to strive for mastery in the truth and serving the Lord, guess what? You got to give up your wickedness. Give up your sins. Give up your lust. You're going to have to become a disciplined man that does everything God said to do. Learn to be friends with everybody who the Lord brings into this truth, because that is what you have to do if you're striving for mastery. If you're going to be perfect, everybody understand? Keep reading.
Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we are incorruptible.
Now, the people in the world that's training for the race or training the box, they're doing it for a corruptible crown, meaning they get that trophy and eventually it fades away. Eventually that trophy goes away. We watching the basketball playoffs. I'm about to go watch the basketball playoffs as soon as I finish class. Them cats is out there playing and shooting and dribbling and dunking and shooting threes. Why? Because they want that trophy at the end of the season. But guess what? They get to party with that trophy for maybe 20 minutes, and they get to go locked up in the cabinet at the arena, and that's it. That trophy, that prize they fighting for is incorruptible. But what is the prize that we get for becoming perfect in the truth? What is the prize that we get for becoming who the Lord called us to be? We get an incorruptible prize. Rulership in the kingdom of heaven. That doesn't go away. You understand? You brothers, you strive to have a good one. You get you a good wife out. More priceless than rubies. This Proverbs 31 say a virtuous woman is her price is far above rubies. There's some things that you can obtain that are incorruptible. That's what we're striving for. Keep reading.
I therefore so run, and not as uncertainly.
Paul is saying, because of this, I run this race. Not as uncertainty. I don't run this race unsure of myself. I don't run this race second guessing. I don't run this race saying maybe I'll win. Is that nigga? If you in the truth, like maybe I'll be righteous. Nah, fuck, you gonna lose, Doc. You gotta be in the truth. Like one day I'm gonna be perfect. One day I'm gonna be the man the Lord called me to be. I know I gotta work for it. I know I gotta suffer through some things, but I am going to do what God put me on this earth to do. I am going to become that best version of myself. I just gotta keep pushing. That's what Paul is saying. I run, not as uncertainty. Read on.
So fight I, not as one that beateth the air.
Paul don't fight as one that beateth the air. What is somebody that beats the air? Somebody that just fighting the air. Why me? I didn't win, or I lost, or damn, man. When you watch a nigga lose, they go, damn, man. We almost did it. We should have had it, man. We messed up. That's one that beateth the air. Like boys in the hood. Be Trey on Boys in the Hood. You lost and you fight in the air because you lost. Paul said, I don't run because of that. I don't run that way. I run with certainty. Keep reading.
But I keep under my body and bring it into subjection.
Paul said, but I stay disciplined. I keep under my body and bring it into subjection. I mean, I stay sure of myself. I stay grounded. Keep myself together. Why? Read on.
Lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I find myself should be a castaway.
Lest, because if I don't, then I'll find myself the damn lesson of my own story. Meaning what? We in this truth. I'm in this seat teaching you to serve the Lord and fight your imperfections and rid yourself of that thing that's trying to destroy you, and go to a brother or sister if they offending you and deal with them. Now imagine I sit here and preach all of this, but I'm not bringing myself under subjection. I'm not allowing myself to receive the lesson that the Lord is using me to teach. Well, then one day I'll be outside of the truth, and y'all be like, yeah, that Captain Soccer War should have did what he taught in that class. Soccer War shouldn't have been such a hoe. He should have went and talked to brothers and not fit out so much. Damn that. I'm not about to do that. Paul is saying he had to bring himself under subjection so that he keep himself from being the consequences of what he's trying to teach everybody else not to be.
Right.
Everybody understands, and that can happen. You see, watch a brother teach a wonderful, amazing class about righteousness and obeying the Lord and fighting your demons, and then one day he out the truth and he's back on dope or in jail with gun charges, and you like, damn, Mike, if only he would have did what he taught in that class, he wouldn't have been there. Paul said, I'm gonna make sure that ain't gonna be me.
Yeah.
All right, so Oscar Ward, let me know if that answers it for you. All right. And then he had another question in Ecclesiasticus 18 and 32. Get Ecclesiasticus 18 and 32. Any other questions? Y'all get them ready. If we don't have any other questions, this is going to be the last scripture for the night, all right? Yeah. All right, so yeah, okay.
Ecclesiasticus 18 and 32.
Ecclesiasticus 18 and 32. Yeah. And understand this for every brother and sister, man. This life in the truth is a marathon, it's not a sprint. You understand? You're not going to become the man the Lord called you to be overnight. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us been at this thing for many, many years. I am not afraid to say that I am not perfect. You understand? Now, I'm not out here sinning and, doing evil, but I know there's some things about myself that need to be better. Ways that I need to improve. Ways that I need to bring myself more under subjection. And you got to fight every day to push forward to being who the Lord called you to be. But don't ever look at your life and be like, man, I've been in the truth for 3 years. I should be doing this by now. I should be doing that. Don't let Satan get in your mind and make you think that you're unworthy of the truth because you're still fighting him. You understand? Now, if you not getting counsel and you haven't gotten yourself to the point where you actually trying to fight your demons, well then, yeah, you need to, Satan is right to whoop your ass, what he's telling you. But you got to trust this. You got to build your faith up and trust these men of the Lord enough to be honest and to be transparent and to not try to hide who you are. Tell the truth about who you are, how you feel, what you think, what you're battling with. And you can get help to become that best version of yourself. But you have to accept that you're going to have to lose some things. You're going to have to drop some shit off in order for you to become who the Lord called you to be. And a lot of brothers are running from that. Don't run from the Lord because he may just take your legs out from under you. Don't let Satan cause you to run from this calling the Lord has chosen you for. You understand? The more time you pour in now, the more energy you put into being perfect now, the much easier it's going to be to accept the harsh trials that are coming for you later. Everybody understands? All right, come on with it. Ecclesiasticus chapter 18, verse 32.
Take not pleasure in much good cheer, neither be tied to the expense thereof.
Okay. The brother asked, is this a scripture that's saying, let me see what he asked the question on. He said, if you make your life all about pleasure, you'll pay with a heavy price. Okay, you own it, but it's a little bit more than that. Let's go up to verse 30. This is really about having discipline, having control, not just giving yourself over to what feels good. All right. And there's a spiritual word for that, giving yourself over to what feels good. And this is what you want to avoid. Ecclesiasticus chapter 18, verse 30.
Verse 30. Go not after thy lust, but refrain thyself from thine appetite.
You understand? Go not after thy lust. Don't let your lust lead you. You might be a brother that like big booty hoes, big, nasty, funky booties. You understand? And big, goofy breasts and, pretty smile, wavy hair, right? Well, damn, it might be a sister that's choosing you that ain't got the big, funky booty, that ain't got the big front butt. General Muhammad coined that phrase years ago. The front butt. Got a juicy front butt and the nice hair that you like. Don't go chase after that woman. You'll miss the woman that is small and petite and don't got the nasty body hanging out everywhere. Don't miss over what could be good for you because you're chasing after your lust. And some of you brothers got that bad. You want a nasty video girl that you'll ignore the beautiful, wonderful sister that's all covered up and you can't really see what the shape looking like. Trust me, it's something wonderful up under that covering she got on. You looking for the nasty video girl, you'll miss her chasing after your lust. Everybody understand? So don't go after that. Go not after thy lust, but refrain thyself from thy appetites. Some of you brothers have unhealthy attractions. You sisters too. Some of you sisters have unhealthy attractions. You want a cat 6'4", light skinned, in the gym all the time, teaching the Bible perfectly, breaking down the scriptures. He on Cross the Line radio Thursday nights. You want Tazaryak, goddammit. You understand? You want Tazaryak, you want a Cod Abraham, and you ignore the other brothers. You ignore the brother that could be the perfect husband for you. He just might not be that perfect height and weight for you. You better get over that. You understand? And some of you brothers, you think women ain't checking for you. Look, I've been short and fat and fly my whole life. Trust me. You understand? They don't only want a card in Tazaryak, goddammit. They coming for soccer war too. You got to get like me, nigga. You got to project that. You understand? Tell them, Barack. You understand? These women say one thing out their mouth, brother, but you present yourself a certain way. They don't know that they want you. You gotta let a woman know. I know what you think you like. You don't want that. You want this right here. You got to show her why that's what she want. Everybody understand. Don't refrain from your appetites. That thing you think you want, that thing you fantasize about, that's Satan. Satan wants you fantasizing about that because you're not going to get it. Or if you get it, it's going to be miserable. You think it's Salaki. You think it's wonderful. You want that brother that all the women want. And you don't know that if you get him, you got an image in your mind that it's going to be, sex on the beach. All right, okay. Lord be with you on that.
Right.
You understand? Salaki. Just you gotta seek counsel and learn not to follow after your lust. Keep reading.
Verse 31. If thou givest thy soul the desires that please her, she will make thee a laughingstock to thine enemies that malign thee.
If you give your soul the desires that please her, now it's describing your soul as a woman. It's describing your lust as a bitch. There's something inside of you. There's a bitch in you that just want everything she see, want everything she can have. She just passing by everything that looks good. She wants to have it. That's some of you brothers with these women. Oh, she's so fine. She's so pretty. She's smiling at me. Go ahead and give that bitch inside of you everything she want, and you're going to be clowned in front of your enemies. Gorilla Hebrew gave the bitch inside of him everything she wanted. Gorilla Hebrew gave the bitch inside of him the goddamn pig. And guess what? Clowned and mocked. Right, sometimes you got to fight your lust. You might want that nasty, freaky thing. You better say no. Right, I cannot be Puff Daddy. Right. I cannot be Gorilla Hebrew. I may, even if you want it, you better look at that like the Lord chose you to fight Satan. Right. Either you fight Satan or Satan gonna bend you over and put something in your ass. That real talk, goddammit. That's the reality. Either you fight Satan or he's gonna put something in your ass, and you think it's a private ass play. You think that thing going in your ass is gonna be between you and Satan. Nope. Satan gonna have everybody see it. Everybody know about it. Satan gonna have you on camera addressing dildos and crying about it. Damn that. Ooh-wee. Satan is a bad nigga, man. Satan is absolutely amazing. He is a worthy adversary, a worthy opponent. Right. And the Lord chose you to defeat Satan, nigga. You better stand up and fight. That's right. You better conquer Satan. Because if you don't conquer Satan, Satan going to have some woman in your ass, and the internet going to find out about it. I'd be damned if Satan play me. That's crazy. Salakia. Anything come out about me is going to be something super player. Like, man, right. 20 wives. It'll be something horrible. I'm going to be ashamed about it, but it ain't going to be dick in the ass. Excuse my language. I'm sorry. It ain't going to be dick in the booty or snorting cocaine. Nothing. It's going to be something, something beneath me. Right. But also something I could be like, damn, what you want me to do, nigga? But it can't be dick in the booty. Excuse my language. You don't fight your lust. Satan will have you getting anally raped. And it'll be bad when everybody find out. Your enemies will malign you. This scripture heavy as hell. So like it. This is the Lord speaking. You should have read this. Oscar Water Lord with you, You reading this, the Lord trying to get you to know. You better fight it, Whatever Satan trying to get you to pleasure yourself with, fight it. Keep reading, Salaki. Keep reading.
So verse 32. Take not pleasure in much good cheer, neither be tied to the expense thereof.
You understand? Don't take pleasure in always be okay. Like we talked about earlier in Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter, there's a time and a season for every purpose, right? It's a time for celebration and joy. But don't get so stuck on being on top that you forget you just was down bad. Don't get so stuck on being up that you forget, damn, I might be down again. You got to learn to have balance. Don't take so much pleasure in winning and having everything you could want, because there may come a time where you're struggling. It may come a time where you got to go without those pleasures, and you got to be able to balance your life out. You got to be able to still have the discipline it takes to endure. Everybody understand? Keep reading. Keep reading.
Verse 33. Be not made a beggar by banqueting upon borrowing.
Be not made a beggar by banqueting upon borrowing. What is that talking about?
Constantly having to
Go ahead.
Constantly having to borrow money when you behind in
Yes. Don't go broke constantly blowing a bag when that bag you got is borrowed. What would we call that today?
Loans.
Yes. Or what's another form of a loan that a lot of people ball out of? When you ain't got the money now, but you may have it later, but you can spend the money now.
Payday loan?
No. It's maybe for this is a some brothers and sisters may be familiar with it. Come on with it, Yum Yum. Credit. That's what it's talking about. Don't ball out on that credit card. Don't max out that credit card. You're going to go broke balling out on borrowed money. Banquet ain't going to borrow money.
Right.
You in the club popping bottles on the credit card. I was taught this about credit, and I did not listen when I was young, and my credit messed up to this day. If you don't have it to spend, then you ain't got it to spend.
Right.
Don't think I'm going to spend it on a card now and then pay it later. No, you won't.
Right.
That's the whole point of credit. The whole point of credit is preying on broke people. You understand? Because guess what? When you do got money, you know what you don't get? Credit card offers.
Right.
I used to get a ton of credit card offers when I was on that dead-end 9 to 5. Now that I done got hurt and might be some money coming, I don't get no credit offers. They don't want to give a nigga no credit that got money to pay it back. They like, no, hell no. You going to be responsible and pay us on time? Never mind. We'll keep our credit card. They want to extend credit to broke people. And this scripture is warning you. Don't let your lust cause you to go broke banqueting by borrowing. You understand? Keep reading.
When thou hast nothing in thy purse.
If you broke, nigga, you broke.
Right.
Stop fronting.
Right,
Stop pretending.
Right.
You ain't got it like that. Keep reading.
For thou shalt lie in wait for thine own life and be talked on.
Thou shalt lie in wait for thine own life and be talked on. Not only are you going to play yourself and stay forever broke, but niggas going to talk about you like, yeah, remember that nigga was popping them bottles? That nigga was broke. That nigga was on them credit cards. And Salaki, man, listen. This heavy, y'all. This is heavy. The water for the question, Oz, because Kawhi, we needed to hear that tonight. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, let me know if you get if that break it down for you, all right? With that, with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, out of 1 West 125th Street in Harlem, New York, man, since 1969, the ISUPK under Commander General Yohana has been teaching so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians the truth according to the Bible. What is the truth? The truth is that so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians descend from the greatest people that have ever walked the face of the earth. The Bible identifies us as the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. And in the year 2025, there's nothing more important than for so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to learn the truth. To learn the truth of who we are, where we come from, and what our purpose is. With that, for all you brothers and sisters tuning in, we have classes here in Memphis Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. The address to the school is 215. Address to the school is 3000 Walnut Grove Road. 3000 Walnut Grove Road. If you Google ISUPK Memphis, you can get the phone number to call for counsel or any assistance that you may need. And with that, I'll see y'all for class tomorrow. Shalom, Israel.